welcome to Season 6 of the Kolskor Marble Championship. Finally starting the 6th season after an intense qualifier round. The first event today will be the underwater race, where 4 marbles at a time will be rolling down into this water to try and reach the end as quick as they can. The top 2 of each heat will be moving on to the semi-finals and then the final in this first event. Going to be a very tense one. In the first heat, we see Mantis, Dynamite, Lapis, and Wisp. Off they go into the water. Looks like it's Lapis in the lead with Dynamite right next to them. Wisp and Mantis, they're there bunching up, but then Lapis and Dynamite get away. And those 2 will be the ones moving on. See them, they're all bunched up there, but Wisp and Mantis just fall behind a bit, allow Lapis and Dynamite to get away, and those 2 will be the ones moving on to the semi-finals. Heat 2, Bolt, Glacier, Dragonfly, and Ocean. Off they go. It's Ocean and Dragonfly leading. Dragonfly taking the lead. They fall behind those. Glacier pushes through. Now Ocean's falling behind. Dynamite looks like they're going to push the lead. They're going to take the win. And it's going to be Glacier just behind them in second place to move on. Ocean had the lead there at the start, but they fell behind. They, in fact, finished last in that heat with Bolt just taking over. But out of them, it is Dragonfly and Glacier who move on. Now in Heat 3, Lollipop, Hive, Blue Bottle, and Andromeda. Off they go into the water. Hive out in the lead. Here comes Blue Bottle coming around. Then Lollipop comes around as well. All bunching up again. Here comes Lollipop. Wisp trying to challenge, but we Blue Bottle taking the win. Lollipop manages to fend off Hive at the end to survive and move on. Hive had the challenge, but looks like Lollipop had a bit of a boost for Andromeda, was trying to push past and failed, allowing them to get away from Hive and be the one to move on with Blue Bottle. In the 4th heat, Pixie, Knight, Mess, and Black Rose. Off they go into the water. Knight takes a commanding lead with Mess right behind. Here comes Pixie round the side. They take the win. Black Rose is challenging Knight, but they're not going to get past. Pixie and Knight move on in a fairly tense race. Nice move there from Pixie, though. They started that off in last, managed to make it around both Mess and Black Rose and Knight as well, and took the win. Fairly close between them. Pixie and Knight move on to the semi-finals. As for the marbles that did not make it, is Andromeda not moving on. They get the best time out of them, 9.1 seconds. We'll go down to Wisp with 10.133. Not much to show for that there. Semi-finals now begin. Knight, Blue Bottle, Glacier, and Lapis in the first one. Off they go. Lapis moves out to the side and then takes a commanding lead here. Knight battling with Glacier. Knight is going to get away. Blue Bottle and Glacier are not even close. Knight and Lapis easily move on there. Unchallenged completely were Lapis and Knight. Both these marbles did do very well in the underwater race back in Season 5. No surprise there for them to be doing well here. Second semi-final, Lollipop, Dynamite, Pixie, and Dragonfly. Off they go. All pretty even. Dynamite takes the lead, though. Here comes Lollipop as well. Dragonfly challenging. Pixie is pushing through the middle. They break ahead of the 2 of them. And it's going to be Lollipop and Pixie who move on. Quite a battle there between the bottom 3. Lollipop seemed to have the lead, but here you see Pixie. They break through the middle of Dynamite and Dragonfly. Just get ahead of them and manage to get away to the final round, which we will see just after this review. The 4 marbles who didn't make it. Glacier does the best out of all of them, with Dragonfly doing the worst. But the final, Lollipop, Lapis, Knight, and Pixie. Off they go into the water. Looks like Knight taking the lead with Lollipop coming up behind. They're all neck and neck, though, as they bunch up. Here comes Pixie round the side. And Pixie is going to take the win in the underwater race and the gold medal. What a move there from Pixie. Managed to find an opening around Lollipop to take it, snatching the win from them right at the end. Lollipop, of course, though, won't get away with nothing. Still a silver medal for them, with Lapis just behind taking the bronze medal in this event. That was a very intense event to start off the Kolskor World Championship. Pixie managing to take the gold, starting off at the top of the standings. Lollipop behind with Lapis in third. All the way down at the bottom, we see Black Rose, the overall silver medalist in the last season, as well as Wisp in last place. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in Event 2, Funnel Endurance. Hello everybody, and welcome back to the Kolskor World Championship Season 6. This is Event 2, Funnel Endurance. Not really seen before in the Kolskor World Championship, except for Season 2 with funnel spinning. Marbles will roll down these funnels and try to stay spinning for as long as they can to move on. We will see 2 heats of 8 marbles and then a final featuring the marbles who have gotten top 4 in their respective heats. Here we go with Heat 1, Mess, Andromeda, Dynamite, Knight, Lapis, Black Rose, Blue Bottle, and Wisp. Off they go into the first funnel, spinning around. Remember, you want to stay in as long as possible. Dynamite and Lapis both fall in there. See, at the top, looks like it is Wisp currently leading. See all the marbles in the second funnel. Andromeda drops through fairly quickly there. See the marbles. Wisp falls through a lot. They lose their lead. Now it's Black Rose and Blue Bottle at the top. Blue Bottle stays in the second funnel the longest. It can be very difficult to hold a lead in this event, but Black Rose and Blue Bottle seem to be doing very well in that funnel there. As we move, some marbles already falling into the last funnel. Dynamite, Wisp, Knight as well, Mess. Andromeda drops there. We see some marbles already gone. I believe that was Dynamite, who's out already. Who will fall in next? Going to be Knight, Wisp, and Mess falls in just before Andromeda. Meaning it will be Andromeda, Lapis, Black Rose, and Blue Bottle moving on. Blue Bottle still rolling around. They did very, very well in their heat. Held the lead for most of it, and that will give them the win in their heat. Looking back down at the last funnel there seemed to be quite a tense battle there between Mess and Andromeda. Andromeda just barely got the edge to give them the move onto the final. You see Blue Bottle, they were completely dominant in that heat. No challenge for them. As for Heat 2, Pixie is leading us off, followed by Ocean, Mantis, Hive, Lollipop, Glacier, Bolt, and Dragonfly. Coming in, looks like it's Mantis falling in first. See a nice top-down view there, as it is, I believe, Bolt who takes the lead early. But remember, it's very hard to hold a lead in an event like this. Bolt is doing quite well, though, with Dragonfly keeping up with them. Will they take the lead? Yes, they will. Dragonfly is the lead now. See Mantis, Lollipop, Hive all falling into the fourth funnel. More marbles falling in. Dragonfly has managed to get a strong hold over the lead as Bolt has dropped through. Just some marbles dropping into the last funnel there. Hive, Lollipop, Mantis, Bolt, Glacier, Pixie, Ocean, and it will be finally Dragonfly who leads. They're doing very well there as Hive drops in, followed by Bolt. They lost their lead massively. Mantis, and finally Glacier drops on through. Meaning it will be Lollipop, Ocean, Pixie, and finally Dragonfly moving on. Dragonfly again dominated, did very well in this event. We go into the last funnel. Takes replay of it. Hive, Bolt, Mantis drops in there. And then finally Glacier to secure the top 4 of this heat. Lollipop had actually made quite a comeback. If I recall correctly, with the second marble in the last funnel. Just goes to show that it's never over as we look at the bottom half of this event. At the top is Mess. 51.066 was their time. All the way down to Dynamite with only 40.9. That is not a good result for them. But now for the final. Blue Bottle, Black Rose, Dragonfly, Lapis, Andromeda, Pixie, Ocean, and Lollipop. They go in, rolling around. Who'll drop in first? It's Lapis, Dragonfly, then Pixie, meaning Ocean is the leader at the start of this event. I was already dropping through into the third funnel. Pixie, Lapis both did very well in the last event, as well as Lollipop. Rolling around, Ocean still has a nice lead. Marvel's already dropping into the fourth funnel. There's only a few left in that third funnel there. Ocean battling with Dragonfly. Dragonfly takes the lead from Ocean. They are now in a wonderful position in this event. Marvel's already falling into the last funnel now. It's like it's battle between those top three. Ocean drops in and Andromeda drops in, meaning Dragonfly with a comfortable lead coming to the last funnel. Black Rose, Blue Bottle, they're both out. Marvel's rolling around. Lapis and Pixie are both gone. Andromeda is gone. Lollipop is gone. Battle between Dragonfly and Ocean. It's gonna be Dragonfly. That proved to be very close at the end between Ocean and Dragonfly. Here's the part where Dragonfly managed to take the lead from Ocean with a wonderful move. And then we see this final battle. Lollipop drops in for the bronze. And between Ocean and Dragonfly, it's very close. Dragonfly just managing to pull away from Ocean. The blue marble falls on through. And Dragonfly wins the gold in Funnel Endurance. Ocean gets a silver for their efforts. And Lollipop takes the bronze, adding to the medal count after their silver in the last event. We take a look at the standings. Lollipop, with their second medal in a row, has taken the lead, but they're only 1 point above Pixie in second place. Meanwhile, in third, we see Dragonfly, their gold, shooting them up 5 spots, while Ocean jumps 6 with their silver medal. A very competitive event we saw today, and we will be returning to it with the first event of the B-League. See you then. Hello everybody, and welcome to Event 3 of the Kolskor Marble Championship Season 6. Today it is Funnel Dash. We have the same course set up as Funnel Endurance, however, instead of trying their best to stay in the funnels as long as possible this time, the Marbles have to get down as fast as they can into the final funnel, and then out of that to take the win. The quickest times will be the highest rewarded. Same with Funnel Endurance, 8 marble heats, the top 4 moving on. And in the first heat, we see Knight, Pixie, Lollipop, Lapis, Wisp, Dragonfly, Bolt, and Mess. Off they go. Who's going to take the early lead? It is Pixie into the lead, followed by Mess and Lapis right behind them. Knight as well. Mess now takes the lead into the third funnel. Remember, you want to go as quick as possible. Lapis right behind. Mess seems to be doing very well so far. There's Dragonfly. They take the lead. No, it's Pixie who's taking it. Dragonfly, of course, won Funnel Endurance to see if they can do better in Funnel Dash as well. Wisp now takes the lead. The lead changes very quickly here, but as long as you can stay in that top 4, you will move on to the final. Pixie, Dragonfly, Lapis is there as well. Knight then falls in. Who will fall in first? It's going to be Wisp who moves on. Pixie then moves on. Lapis and Knight moves on just ahead of Dragonfly. Disappointing for the Funnel Endurance winner there. They seem to be doing quite well, but couldn't just get it done. See other marbles falling in there. Mess, Bolt, and finally Lollipop takes last in that heat. Quite a battle here for the final spots. Wisp managing to fall in, Pixie, Lapis, and then very close between Knight and Dragonfly. Knight just managing to edge out the other marble. Now in Heat 2, Dynamite, Ocean, Andromeda, Black Rose. Black Rose is Blue Bottle, Glacier, Hive, and Mantis as they start into the first funnel. Ocean takes the lead, Dynamite right behind. Andromeda falls in next, Glacier, Hive, Black Rose. Dynamite has taken the lead now with Andromeda right behind. Ocean as well, Black Rose has made up some spots. Who fall in next, Ocean retakes the lead, Hive right behind. They've made up some positions, Dynamite as well and Black Rose. These 4 seem to be doing much better than the others. Black Rose falls in, taking the lead. Then there's Dynamite as well, Ocean. Hive drops in there. Again, these four seem to be absolutely dominating. Mantis very far behind what Hive fell in. There goes Dynamite. They'll take the win in this heat. Black Rose drops in. Ocean there takes a bit of a hit from Mantis, manages to hold it. And then Hive drops in with the final qualifying spot, meaning Mantis just unable to make it in. Andromeda drops in there. Blue Bottle and finally Glacier will unfortunately take last in that heat. Dynamite, Black Rose, Ocean and Hive, they seem to absolutely dominate the other four marbles here. Absolutely no trouble for them. Hive and Dynamite also did quite badly in Funnel Endurance, so this is a bit helpful for them to be doing well in the other iteration of the funnels here. As we look at the 9 to 16th standings, Dragonfly does do the best, only marble there to get a sub 50-second time. Meanwhile, Glacier all the way down with 64.6. That is definitely not what you want to see in the final dash. But now for the final. Pixie, Lapis, Knight, Dynamite, Black Rose, Ocean, Wisp and Hive all go into the funnel. Who will take the early lead? It is Black Rose, followed by Dynamite, Lapis and Hive. Wisp and Pixie follow right behind. There's Ocean. And Hive has now taken the lead. Lapis right behind as well. Black Rose still managed to hold a good position. Hive has already moved on to the fourth funnel. They seem to be doing very well. Lapis is in there as well. Pixie just behind. Dynamite in there. Who can take the lead to the final funnel? It is Pixie has taken it from Hive. The other marble is challenging behind there. Lapis drops in as well. These three seem to be doing very well. Dynamite drops in. Going to see the battle for the gold. Who is going to take it? Hive seems close. Battling with Dynamite. Hive drops in. And they're going to take the gold. Dynamite the silver. And Pixie takes the bronze medal. Wisp takes fourth. Knight fifth. Lapis sixth. And Black Rose takes seventh. Ocean, meanwhile, seems to be competing for the wrong event. They must have forgotten this was Funnel Dash, not Funnel Endurance in between the heat and the final. Very nicely done there by Hive. See a little bit of impact there with Lapis, put them on a good trajectory. Then a nice battle with Dynamite sealed their gold medal victory. That's going to be very nice for them after a bad finish in the last event. Dynamite and Pixie as well, both be happy to pick up medals. And there are the final standings. Hive, of course, at the top. Dynamite, Pixie, Wisp, Knight, Lapis, Black Rose, and Ocean taking the 8th place position. And we take a look at the standings after this event. Pixie has retaken the lead with that second medal there. 44 points, 9 points clear of both Dragonfly and Lapis, with Lollipop falling some positions. Hive and Dynamite as well both move up quite a lot of spots, +7 and +4 respectively. While Glacier falls the hardest, -5. I'll see you in the next event, a classic one, Bounce Back. See you then. Hello everybody and welcome back to Season 6 of the Kolskor Marble Championship. Today it is event 4, Bounce Back. 4 miles in time will roll down this ramp and hit the wall at the end there. We'll have to try and stay as close to the wall as possible. Each indent close to the wall will be 1 point. If you manage to land up at all the way at the end, you will get a full 40. In the first heat here, Dragonfly, Mantis, Lapis, and Hive. Their first bounce as they come down. Mantis doing very nicely. Hive does the worst there. Lapis and Dragonfly, decent scores. Second bounce here. They come down, and this time it's Dragonfly doing very well again in that second lane. Hive and Lapis fall back quite far. Mantis just getting a decent score there. Bounce number 3. All of them do quite well. Dragonfly, they lose some spots from what they could have gotten. You might see that a lot as the marbles try to just get in the right spot in the indent. They come down for their last bounce. Dragonfly again does very, very well, and they will be leading that group just barely over Mantis, as Dragonfly did get a 32 points. as their highest to Mantis is 31, meaning they will take the early lead. Heat 2 now. Blue Bottle, Pixie, Knight, and Bolt. Their first bounce as they come down. Blue Bottle and Bolt both do nicely. Pixie and Knight, they fall back quite far, but it's always the first bounce. Pretty good chance to make up time here. Not time, points. Second bounce now. Bolt again does well. Knight doing very well, while Pixie falls back quite far. Score of 11 is not what you want to see here. You want to see those high 20s, low 30s. High 30s even. Third bounce here. Pixie manages to recover just quite nicely, while Blue Bottle and Bolt fall back quite far. Knight doing very decently so far. Coming down for the final bounce. Knight and Blue Bottle doing decently, while Pixie and Bolt, they fall back quite far. And those two will not do nearly as well as the other two. We look to the standings. Knight has slid into third place with Blue Bottle in fourth, but Pixie and Bolt, they are both well down the order. Pixie currently in last place position. Heat 3. Lollipop, Glacier, Dynamite, and Wisp. There they go. Glacier and Lollipop both do well. Wisp and Dynamite, though, they fall back quite far. Not excellent starts for them. Always have time to make up, though. Second bounce. Dynamite does very well. Nice recovery there. Wisp as well. Pretty good second bounce. Bounce 3 coming up here for the third heat. Glacier, that is excellent. Dynamite as well. Meanwhile, Wisp falls back very far. The other three do very nicely. Glacier, Lollipop, and Dynamite, all three of them. Here's their final bounce. Last chance to do very well. Glacier and Dynamite, again, doing excellently. Lollipop falls back quite far. And looking to the standings, Dynamite has taken first place. 111 points total. Glacier, meanwhile, is in second. A three-way tie for 110 at the top, with Glacier with their 35, bringing them an excellent score. Now the final heat. Andromeda, Black Rose, Mess, and Ocean, who come down. Black Rose does nicely. Andromeda as well. Mess and Ocean, completely on the opposite end of the spectrum. They fall back quite far. Bounce 2 now. Andromeda and Black Rose do very well again. Mess and Ocean again not so much. Those two seem to be having quite some trouble here in this fourth event. Ocean and Black Rose and Andromeda staying very consistent. Ocean and Mess are doing terribly. They're looking at horrific scores so far. Coming down for the last bounce, Black Rose does very nicely. And again, Mess and Ocean, that is not good for them. But Black Rose's score is not going to be enough, meaning Dynamite takes the gold in the bounce back. Glacier manages to eke out a silver, and Dragonfly takes the bronze medal. That will conclude us for Event 4 of Season 6. Looking at the standings, Dragonfly has taken the number 1 spot right now with that bronze medal, while Dynamite's gold, bouncing off their silver from the last event, nets them +5. We also see Glacier in 7th place now. They got the silver medal, bringing them up 7 positions. Meanwhile, falling down, we see Ocean. They take a -4 with their second last place finish in this event. Mess and Wisp also taking hard losses with their 13th and 16th place finish respectively. Thank you for watching. Next up, we will see the B-League Marbles taking on this same event. I'll see you then. Goodbye. Hello everybody, and welcome back to Season 6 of the Kolskor Marble Championship. Here today we have Event 5, Hurdles. Marbles will roll down this track 4 at a time, trying to get to the end as quick as possible down those little jumps. Hurdles, as we call them. The top 2 will move on to the semi-finals and then the final. So let's get right into it with the first heat. Lapis, Knight, Mantis, and Lollipop. Off they go. Mantis and Lapis out to the lead. Here comes Lollipop on the bottom, and they're going to overtake Lapis, meaning they and Mantis will move on. Unfortunate for Lapis. They seem to be doing pretty well there against Mantis, but managed to fall behind. Lollipop saw their chance and took it, meaning Mantis and Lollipop move on to the semi-finals. Heat 2 now. Mess, Black Rose, Dynamite, and Blue Bottle. Down they go. Looks like it's Black Rose out to the lead and absolutely not challenged at all. Blue Bottle was there as well. Mess seemed to get out to a pretty good start, but they fell back quickly. Black Rose pushing through. Mess looked like they're trying to block Blue Bottle, but was not fast enough. Black Rose and Blue Bottle move on fairly easily to the semi-finals. Heat 3, Ocean, Andromeda, Dragonfly, and Wisp. Down they go. Andromeda out to the lead. There's Dragonfly as well, making a move around. And those two are going to move on comfortably. Wisp and Ocean did not challenge at all, allowing Andromeda and Dragonfly to just kind of run away with it. It was pretty close between them to the end. Wisp did actually try to make a challenge, although it was Andromeda just barely beating out Dragonfly. Final heat, Bolt, Hive, Pixie, and Glacier. Down they go. Looks like it's Bolt into the lead. Glacier challenging Pixie is not going to get there, meaning it is Bolt and Pixie moving on. Hive, they fell back quite quickly. Glacier was very close up on Pixie. Pixie just managed to beat them into the wall, and then Glacier tried to make a move around, just was not fast enough. Quite a close heat. Will be Bolt and Pixie moving on. We see the 9th to 16th standings. Wisp does get the best time of the rest of them, followed by Lapis, Glacier, Hive, Mess, Dynamite, Ocean, and Night down in last place. First semi-final. Bolt, Black Rose, Dragonfly, and Lollipop. Down they go. Looks like it's Black Rose in the lead, and Dragonfly absolutely unchallenged. Those two just completely got out to the lead instantly, and neither of the other two marbles were anywhere close to them. That was an excellent showing from them two. And would you look at that? Black Rose has broken their own record from Season 5. 2.562. That is a brilliant time for that marble. Now the second semi-final. Mantis, Andromeda, Pixie, and Blue Bottle. Down they go. Mantis into the lead. Challenging with Andromeda. There's Blue Bottle there. And them two look like they're going to get the move on. Andromeda looks to get out to a good start, but they see contact with Mantis. They fall behind. They try to make it back on Blue Bottle. Can't do it. And Mantis and Blue Bottle will move on. There's the standings for 5th through 8th. Bolt will get 11 points there, followed by Andromeda, Pixie, and Lollipop in 8th place. But now, the final. Black Rose, Mantis, Dragonfly, and Blue Bottle. Off they go. Looks like it's pretty close to the start. Blue Bottle gets the lead. There's Black Rose on the bottom. That was incredibly close between Black Rose and Blue Bottle. Blue Bottle on the bottom. They look to have a good lead. Looks like this had almost been wrapped up for them. And here comes Black Rose on the bottom. Did they get past? Yes, they did. By 1,000th of a second, Black Rose wins gold in the hurdles. Blue Bottle, that was an incredible effort. They will take the silver, and Mantis takes the bronze medal. That mammoth effort from Black Rose is enough to bring them up all the way to P3 in the standings, just behind Pixie and Dragonfly at the top. Meanwhile, Blue Bottle also getting a nice jump up from their silver +6 into 6th place position. Next event, we will see a new one. It will be Drag Bounce, and I'll see you then. Goodbye. Hello everybody and welcome back to Season 6 of the Kolskor Marble Championship. Today is Event 6, Drag Bounce. 2 marbles at a time will drop from that raised platform onto the book, and they will have to bounce as far as they can, the furthest marble being the one to move on. This is a new event, never before seen in the Kolskor Marble Championship, so it will be quite interesting to see how the marbles take to this unfamiliar challenge. First up, Wisp going up against Dragonfly. Down they come, whisked out to the lead, and that is convincing from that marble. Did not challenge at all, did Dragonfly. Wisp gets the win, 76.1 to 66.0. Heat 2 now, Hive versus Knight. Down they come, bounce on the book, and it's going to be a victory for Knight. Hive seemed to have a bit of an early lead with a good bounce, but Knight dragged much less than Hive did, giving them the win. Heat 3, Andromeda goes up against Glacier. Down they go, Andromeda drops first, and that's going to give him a nice victory. Glacier did close up at the end, just couldn't get enough on the orange marble. Andromeda takes the win, just barely. Fourth heat, Bolt going up against Black Rose. Down they go, and Bolt does get the win. Nice move there in front of Black Rose, making sure there was no chance for the other mob to get past, just in case. Bolt managed to block that. Does move on. Heat 5, Pixie versus Lollipop. Down they go, Lollipop down first, and that is very, very convincing from the red marble. Pixie could not get out to it, giving Lollipop the nice victory there. Unfortunate for the other marble. Blue Bottle versus Mess. How will this one shake out? Down they go, Mess out to the lead. There's Blue Bottle with a nice move past, and I think that's going to give them the win. Nice comeback there from Blue Bottle. Just had a bit more left in the tank at the end and manages to beat Mess just barely. Now, Dynamite up against Lapis. Down they go, and that's going to give Lapis the victory. Dynamite on the right side couldn't seem to get out to it, and Lapis takes a quite convincing victory. Dynamite, not a good score. Now the final heat, Ocean versus Mantis. Down they go. Mantis looks a bit slow. Ocean gets out to a good run, and Mantis, despite a nice bounce, looked pretty quick, couldn't make it past Ocean, and that will eliminate them from the heats. Standings 9th to 16th. Mantis does get the 9th spot, falling all the way down to Pixie. Only marble not to pass 65. Disappointing for them. First quarterfinal, Knight versus Bolt. Down they go. They're close together, and that's going to be very, very close, but I think Bolt just managed to get past. They had an early lead. Knight closed up, but it is going to be Bolt just barely beating out Knight. 0.7 was the difference between them. Wisp against Ocean, they come down, and that's also going to be very close. Wisp seemed to have a nice early lead. Ocean closed up very close to them. Who's it going to be? It's going to be Wisp. Again, just barely. This time even closer. 0.3 was the gap. Wisp moves on. Third quarterfinal, Blue Bottle against Andromeda, and differently. That's going to be a convincing victory for Blue Bottle. Unfortunate for Andromeda, couldn't get out to it like the other marble did. Blue Bottle gets the win and will move on to the semi-finals. Final quarterfinal, Lapis against Lollipop. Down they go, and Lollipop shoots out. That is a brilliant showing from the red marble. Lapis could not compete at all with that performance. Lollipop is going to move on with a 93.1. Nearly 20 centimeters more than Lapis. Standing 5th to 6th. Knight gets 5th, Ocean 6th, Andromeda 7th. Lapis down in 8th place. But here, the first semi-final. Wisp versus Lollipop. Down they go. Down pretty at the same time, but it's going to be Lollipop. Takes a quite convincing victory over the purple marble. Nice move there from Lollipop. Gets out quickly and takes the win over Wisp. Second semi-final. Bolt up against Blue Bottle. Down they go. Looks like Bolt was out first, but Blue Bottle, a much better bounce, is going to give them the win over Bolts. Very, very nice performance. Was to secure them at least a silver medal. Bolt will go to the bronze match up against Wisp. which we see here. This is for the bronze medal. Wisp versus Bolt. Down they go. It's close, but Bolt is going to get the win and the bronze medal. Unfortunate for Wisp. They did get pretty close. Bolt just had the edge. Will take the win. 78.9 to 74.2. Now the final. Blue Bottle versus Lollipop. Who will take gold? They go down and Lollipop shoots out. And that is a very, very convincing gold medal win for Lollipop. An excellent performance they've had throughout the whole event. 82.9 to 66.1. Lollipop, a very convincing victory to get the gold medal. Blue Bottle gets the second silver medal they have in a row. Bolt, of course, as aforementioned, takes the bronze medal. That brilliant performance by Lollipop shoots them up 4 positions into first place. Blue Bottle, meanwhile, 2 silvers in a row, puts them up into third. Lovely event we saw today, and we will see it again with the B-League Marbles coming up next. I'll see you then. Goodbye. Hello everybody, and welcome back to Season 6 of the Kolskor Marble Championship. Today it is Event 7, Balancing. Marbles will roll down onto this fairly thin bridge of blocks and try to make it as far as possible down it, making sure they don't fall off. Each little indent in the Lego bricks there will be 1 point. As far as they go as the amount of points they get, there is a finishing bin. Let's see if any marbles can make it all the way to the end. Up first, we have Mess, a marble who has not been doing very well at all this season. Can they try and do something here? That doesn't seem to be a very good score. Let's see what it adds up to halfway over the line, and that's going to be a 59 for Mess. Not a great start. They are followed by Hive, who does have a gold medal, still not very high up in the standings. What can they do here? And that is also not going to be very good. Look to be just a bit worse than Mess. Let's take a look at the score. 51. Definitely not the kind of score they wanted. Now we see Wisp. What can they do? Down they come, and that's also not going to be good at all. These first 3 marbles, they are down in the standings, but these 46 for Wisp, that is going to put them 3rd out of 3. Now then, can Bolt try and do something different? Down they go. Definitely doing very well. They keep going. They're heading to the bin and they fall in. My goodness, what an amazing run from Bolt. Look at this. Staying in the middle. They veer off to the left a bit. Bring it back to the center. And that's where they stay, dropping into the finish. And that is going to put them in a comfortable first place position. Next up, Ocean. How will they respond to that from Bolt? Looks pretty good. Gonna fall off around the 80 mark. Just a bit past it. Quite a nice run there. What's it going to be? 84. Fairly strong there from Ocean. They are followed by Mantis, who's been doing alright the past few events. Down they come. Also looks to be a pretty good score. Just next to the 80 mark as well. Will they be able to beat Ocean, take 2nd place? No, they won't. Going to be an 81 for Mantis. Still a respectable score, currently 3rd place. They are followed by Glacier. How can they do? Also looks to be pretty good again. Falling around the 80 mark. That seems to be where a lot of these fairly mid-pack marbles are ending up. How will they end up? 83, just 1 point under Ocean. A very decent score. Rounding out the first half, we see Knight. What kind of score what they put up? Also fall around an 80 mark. What can they do here? Similar to Mantis, Ocean, and Glacier. Past the 60, and that's going to be exactly 80 for Knight. Putting them at what is currently around 5th place. However, right now it is, of course, Bolt at the top with that amazing finishing score. Starting off the second half, it is Dynamite. How will they do here? Not very well. Looks to drop off just after the 60 mark. Let's have another look at it. Not going to be after the 60 mark, directly on it actually. 60 is Dynamite's score, not amazing for that marble. Andromeda up next. What can they do? Looking pretty good so far, past 80. Not going to get to 100 though. Thought it was pretty strong. Looked to be a bit further than what Ocean got with their 84. Yes, it is a nice 89 for Andromeda. Lapis is up next. How will they do? Down they go. Look to be doing alright. Veer off to the left though, just around the 80 mark. What score do they get? Just at the 79. So a bit less than the other marbles. Now then, Black Rose. Down they go. Look to be pretty good past 80, past 100. And that's going to be a very nice score for Black Rose. Let's take another look at that. They were on the right for most of it, managed to bring it back, then fell back to the right. But a very nice 102 is going to put them in currently second place. Now, Pixie. How will they do? They're off to the left, veering back to the right, but they go too far. Gonna fall down around 80, I believe. Take another look, and yes, 82. Sandwich right between Glacier and Mantis. Now then, Blue Bottle. This marble has been on very nice form lately. How will they do? Going quite fast. Seem to be slowing down, but they're doing well. They hit the wall, and they fall into the finisher bin. Is that going to count? Let's take another look at it. Regardless of what happens, this is a very nice score for Blue Bottle, but we'll see if they can tie Bolt's finish. But no, they've hit the wall, and it's been judged as that is going to count as falling off. But still, 123 is very, very nice. Dragonfly now. How will they do? And they fall off immediately. Not good at all for Dragonfly, no. 41, that is current last place position, P15. Now for Lollipop. Last run here. How will they do? And they fall off pretty quick. Not going to end off on a good note with Lollipop. What is their score? 52 is going to be the finishing score, meaning Bolt, the only marble to finish, has taken the win, followed by Blue Bottle with 3 silver medals in a row, and Black Rose rounding out the podium with the bronze medal. Blue Bottle's excellent recent form, 3 silver medals in a row, has put them up into first place, just above Lollipop. Meanwhile, Black Rose is up into third with the bronze medal. A bit further down the order, it is Bolt. Their gold, bouncing off from their bronze medal from the last event, jumps them up 7 spots. A very nice showing for them. Next event will be the midway point with triathlon. See you then. Hello everybody and welcome back to Season 6 of the Kolskor Marble Championship. Today the event is going to be triathlon, having reached the halfway point of the tournament. 3 sections of track, a regular covered track session. You can see a lot of banked turns here on that. Then with an uncovered track session, which would be quite difficult to traverse with those holes there. They can easily slow down the marbles if they don't position themselves correctly. And then finally the last section, a blanketed section with little bumps there created to trip up the marbles. And winning in this event is going to require mastery of all these sections. So let's see how the marbles do in the first heat, consisting of Dragonfly, Pixie, Mantis and Glacier. Off they go. So Pixie into the early lead. Mantis a nice move on Dragonfly there on the track, so they move into the uncovered section. Dragonfly making ground on Mantis, but they get the pass there in the blanket section. Mantis gets it back though, and that's going to allow them to move on. Very nicely done there by Mantis. Look at this, there's their first move there. And then after Dragonfly gets past them in the blanketed section, Mantis manages to get it back on that third obstacle. That third little jump, and they will move on with Pixie. Heat 2, Lapis, Dynamite, Hive and Lollipop. Off they go. Lapis and Dynamite in the early lead. Lollipop makes a move past Dynamite, and then they make a move past Lapis into first place. Can Dynamite maybe catch up to Lapis here? Lollipop streaks ahead. They're going to take the win. And Lapis takes an uncontested second place finish with Dynamite in third. Hive coming up last. Look at this from Lollipop. That first move on Dynamite, and then they streak ahead past Lapis. Very nicely done there to take the win and move on to the semi-finals. Unfortunate for Dynamite and Hive, they will be eliminated. Heat 3, Ocean, Mess, Blue Bottle, and Andromeda. Down they go. Looks like Mess at the early lead, but then the Blue Bottle moves ahead of them, then Andromeda. What a move past all the marbles. Very nicely done. There's that. Ocean makes a nice move into second place. Andromeda streaks ahead. Looks like it's battle for second, but Ocean streaks past Blue Bottle. And they will move on with Andromeda. Look at this from Andromeda. Moves to the near side and just picked a perfect turn there to take the win. Ocean, of course, taking the second place finish. They made a nice move past Blue Bottle. But here we have the final heat. Bolt, Knight, Black Rose, and Wisp. Off they go. Bolt into the early lead. Wisp behind. Black Rose makes a nice move and then fends off a challenge from Knight. They catch up to Bolt, and those two, they've gotten very far ahead. Black Rose moves into the first place position. They will move on along with Bolt, completely uncontested from Knight and Wisp. Look at this from Black Rose. Moves past Wisp. Knight makes the challenge, but Black Rose an excellent block, which allows them to get away and move on with Bolt. Unfortunate for Knight and Wisp, they will not move on. And we look to the standings from 9th to 16th. Dragonfly does the best of them. They take 9th place. Only marble there to get a time sub 13 seconds. Now, the first semi-final. Lapis, Bolt, Pixie, and Andromeda. Off they go. Bolt into the lead. Pixie just behind. Can they make a pass on that straight away? No, they can't. Pixie catches up to Bolt. Bolt manages to get away, though. And it looks like those two have broken away. Can Andromeda or Lapis catch up? No, they cannot. Meaning Bolt and Pixie will quite comfortably move on. Look at this defense from Bolt, though. Pixie catches up, then Bolt just manages to get away from that. That uncovered section of track can be very difficult to traverse, but it was nicely done there from Bolt to fend off that challenge from Pixie. Those two comfortably move on to the final. Second semi-final, Mantis, Lollipop, Ocean, and Black Rose. A definitely powerful heat here. Lollipop into the lead. There's Mantis and Ocean both making it past Black Rose. They all bunch up in the uncovered track session. Black Rose makes the move into first place. There's Ocean next to them, but Lollipop passes. And Lollipop and Black Rose are going to move on. My goodness, what a race that was. Gonna take a long look at it here. Look at that move from Black Rose in the uncovered track section. Very nicely done here. Then Lollipop closes up on Ocean, gets the pass on that second hurdle, and will move on along with Black Rose to the final. Definitely deserved by those two marbles. Standing to 5th to 8th will be Mantis, taking the best time out of them, followed by Ocean, Andromeda. Finally, Lapis in 8th place. But we move to the final. Bolt, Black Rose, Lollipop, and Pixie. Who will win the triathlon? Off they go. Black Rose into the early lead. Here comes Lollipop, though, making the pass on the turn. Into the uncovered track session. Here comes Pixie. They move past Black Rose. They're all pretty close here. Bunching up as they come into the last section. Can anyone overtake the Lollipop? No, they cannot. And Lollipop wins gold in the triathlon. What a race. Black Rose, they held the lead earlier, fell behind a bit. Those last two marbles, they bunched up, but none of them could catch Lollipop. Pixie was getting close. Black Rose made a nice pass on Bolt for the bronze medal, but ultimately Lollipop took the gold medal and wins the triathlon in the 8th event of the Kolskor Marble Championship. Pixie, they made a nice effort getting the second place finish, and then Black Rose takes third, the bronze medal. Lollipop has become the first marble this season to win 2 gold medals, and that launches them into first place with 4 total medals. Blue Bottle folds a position, meanwhile Black Rose and Pixie stay in 3rd and 4th respectively. Bolt and Andromeda both rising as well. Next event we will see also the triathlon, but this time in the B division. And I'll catch you for that event. See you then. Hello everybody and welcome back to Season 6 of the Kolskor World Championship. Today the event we are having here is Sprint. It is event 9. This event is quite simple, of course. 4 marbles at a time will roll down this straight track as fast as they can to get to the end. The 2 who do the best will move on. Top 2 from each heat will go to the semi-finals, and then of course the final. This is an event coming on right after the first half, so things are really starting to get intense. In the first heat, Bolt, Andromeda, Blue Bottle, and Ocean, off they go, and it's Andromeda and Bolt who do manage to block off Ocean and Blue Bottle, and they're going to be taking the win. Look at this, nice moves from Bolt and Andromeda. They bunch up together and then they both get in front of Ocean and Blue Bottle, meaning those two will comfortably move on. In the second heat, Lapis, Black Rose, Lollipop, and Hive. Off they go. Black Rose out to the early lead. Here comes Lapis. They're blocked though by Hive. What a move there by the yellow marble. And it looks like Hive and Black Rose are going to move on. Black Rose got out to the early lead. Lollipop was challenging them. Lapis thought that they could get around, but then here comes Hive. Blocks Lapis. And Hive and Black Rose are going to be the ones moving on. An excellent move there by Hive to stop Lapis from overtaking. Heat 3, Dynamite, Dragonfly, Wisp, and Glacier. Off they go, like Wisp out into the lead with Glacier just behind them. And Dynamite and Dragonfly are not going to be able to overtake. Good move there by Wisp to get in the lead early, blocking off Dragonfly's path. Looks like they tried to get around, but then Glacier came in, also blocked Dynamite's move. Wisp and Glacier are going to be moving on, unfortunate for Dragonfly and Dynamite. And now the final heat, Mess, Knight, Pixie, and Mantis. Off they go. Mess goes haywire. Knight and Pixie go into the lead. And they're going to move on. Mess seemed to move to the right, but they moved too far and started bouncing, which is not what you want to see. Mantis was trying to overtake Pixie, but was a bit too far back. So Knight and Pixie are going to be the ones moving on to the semi-final. We take a look at the 9th to 16th standings. Ocean will take 9th place with 2.665, followed by Dynamite, Blue Bottle, Dragonfly, Mantis, Lapis, and Lollipop, and finally Mess going last. First semi-final, Andromeda, Wisp, Pixie, and Hive. Off they go. Pixie out to the lead. Here comes Andromeda challenging. Wisp was there as well. But I do think it was Pixie and Andromeda who moved on. Hive was also trying to challenge from the, they moved to the bottom, but I don't think they managed to get it. Here's Andromeda's move to get next to Pixie, holding off Wisp, and yes, it will be Pixie and Andromeda who will be moving on to the final. Here we see the third heat, Black Rose, Bolt, Glacier, and Knight. Off they go. Bolt into the lead. Here comes Knight with the overtake, but it's not going to matter as both Black Rose and Glacier were stopped. Very nicely done there by Bolt and Knight to get into the lead early, blocking off Glacier and Black Rose. Black Rose did try to make a move to the right at the last minute, but it was not enough. Bolt and Knight will be moving on to the final. Standings 5th to 8th. Black Rose does manage to take the 5th place position, followed by Glacier in 6th, Wisp in 7th, and finally Hive takes the 8th place position. But now, the final. Andromeda, Pixie, Knight, and Bolt. Off they go. Knight out to the lead. Here comes Andromeda, and they're going to pass. And Andromeda takes the gold medal in the sprint. What a final race that was. Knight got out to the lead. Bolt seemed to be in 2nd place, challenging Pixie on the other side. But then there comes Andromeda, passes all of them, and takes the victory with a very, very nice move. Andromeda does win the gold medal, of course. Knight takes the 2nd place silver, and Bolt takes the overall bronze. Looking at the current standings, there are 6 marbles within 5 points of each other. Pixie, Black Rose, Lollipop, Andromeda, Blue Bottle, and Bolt, all within the 93 to 88 point range. Just below them, we do see Knight, who has managed to rise 5 spots into 7th place with that silver medal, so that is a very nice performance for them. The next event is another new one for the Kolskor Championship. It will be Parallel Run, So I'll see you there. Hello everybody and welcome back to Season 6 of the Kolskor Marble Championship. Today we have Event 10, the Parallel Run. 2 marbles at a time will race down these 2 sides of track parallel to each other, one on each side, to try and get to the end as quick as possible. The one that gets to the end first will of course move on to the quarterfinals, semifinals, and then finally the final. Odd event we haven't seen before in the KMC, so let's see how our marbles do. First up, Wisp versus Hive. Off they go to this early section of the straightaway around the loop, and then the final straightaway. Hive does take the win. They had the control there the entire way through. See them on the straightaway just extending their lead and taking the win over Wisp, moving on to the quarter-final. Second heat, Glacier versus Bolt. Bolt and Marble, who has been doing quite well these past 2 events. Glacier, though, has the lead. Can they catch up? No, they won't. And Glacier will take a quite comfortable victory here. See, on this straightaway, they just got a very far ahead of Bolt, and Bolt did not have the time to overtake, meaning Glacier will be the one moving on. Heat number 3, we have Dynamite and Mess. Off they go. Now that these marbles have been doing so well this season, how will they do here? Dynamite seems to have the lead. Can Mess maybe make it up? No, they will not. And Dynamite takes the victory. Again, had the lead coming into the loop. That seems to be the defining part of this event, and they held it to the end. Mess unable to make it up. Heat 4, Blue Bottle up against Knight. Off they go. Looks like it's Blue Ball out to the lead early. Knight gets the lead here on the straightaway, and it extends all the way to the end. That was a crushing victory for Knight. Very nicely done there. Blue Bottle seemed to be in the lead early, but lost it. And Knight's lead just kept extending and extending. A very good time for them. And that means they will move on to the quarterfinal. Next heat, Pixie versus Mantis. Off they go. Looks like it is Pixie out to the lead. Mantis seems to get the overtake. Who will take it to the end? It's going to be Mantis. Pixie didn't seem to be able to hold on to their lead, even though they had it early. It's hard to tell really who's in the lead for much of this event, but in this time it was Mantis, and they were able to take the win. Next heat, Andromeda versus Ocean. Off they go. Andromeda's been doing quite well recently, and they seem to be continuing that trend. Ocean, can they catch up? No, they will not. And Andromeda's going to take the win. Very nice performance there by Andromeda over a long time KMC great like Ocean. Andromeda has been doing quite well in the KMC thus far, and that seems to be continuing. Up next, Lapis and Black Rose, both former champions. How will they do? Looks like Lapis has the lead. Looks like Black Rose catches up, and they take the win. Very nice performance there from Black Rose to make the comeback. Neck and neck in the loop, and then after that, Black Rose just extended their lead and did manage to take the win and move on. Now then, final heat, Dragonfly versus Lollipop. Off they go. Be quite close together. Dragonfly gets the lead though. Lollipop has fallen quite far behind, and Dragonfly is going to take a comfortable victory there. Not a good showing there from Lollipop there. I've been having some trouble recently. But Dragonfly there, very nice performance. They take the win and move on to the quarterfinals. That does it for the heats. From 9th to 16th, Pixie will take 9th place, followed by Lapis, Bolt, Wisp, Nest, Ocean, Blue Bottle, and finally Lollipop taking last. For the first quarterfinal, Dynamite up against Black Rose. Quite close together. Black Rose takes the lead in the loop section. Dynamite catches up though, and that's going to be a very close finish. Very hard to tell which marble took it there. We're going to have another look at it. Come to the end, and it's going to be Dynamite. Just barely beats out Black Rose, and we will move on to the semi-final. Quarterfinal 2. Glacier and Dragonfly. Off they go. And to be quite close together, just like the last event. Come to the end, and it looks like it's going to be Glacier. Gonna have to take another look at it. There was another very close one. Glacier did have the lead coming into the straightaway, I think. Did they manage to hold it? Yes. Glacier is going to be the one moving on over Dragonfly to the semi-final. Quarterfinal 3, Andromeda versus Mantis. 2 newcomers. How will they perform? Andromeda seems to have the lead. Will it hold? Yes, it will hold to the end. Andromeda makes a nice showing over Mantis here. Did seem to be pretty close at the start, but by the loop, Andromeda had the lead and they managed to stretch it all the way to the end. And for the final quarterfinal, Knight up against Hive. Off they go. Looks like it's Hive out to the lead in the right lane, and they will take it to the end. It was quite a close one in the first few turns, but Hive did manage to get it by the loop, and that is what gave them the victory. Looking at the standings from 5th to 8th, Knight does manage to take the 5th place finish, followed by Black Rose in 6th, Mantis in 7th, and finally Dragonfly in 8th place. For the first semi-final, we see Andromeda up against Glacier. Off they go. Be quite close together. Andromeda seems to have the lead. Can Glacier make a comeback? No, they will not. And Andromeda is going to move to the final with a guaranteed at least a silver medal. Unfortunate for Glacier, they couldn't make it back up on Andromeda, meaning they will have to go to the bronze match, while Andromeda is the one making it to the final. For the other semi-final, Dynamite up against Hive. Off they go. Looks like it is quite close together. Dynamite might have the lead. No, it's Hive with the lead, and they're going to take it to the end. Hive will move on to the final, while Dynamite will have to battle Glacier for the bronze medal. Very nice performance there from Hive. It was pretty close before. He managed to get the lead during the loop section and move on to the final. But for the bronze match, Glacier versus Dynamite for the bronze medal. Off they go. Quite close together. Glacier seems to have the lead. Dynamite makes a bit of a comeback. Will it hold? No, it won't. And Glacier's lead extends, and they will take the bronze medal in this event. A very nice performance here over Dynamite. It was pretty close, but unfortunately Dynamite just did not have enough left to take the win over Glacier. But for the final, Hive versus Andromeda. Off they go. So Andromeda might have the lead. Hive has it now. In the loop section, who's going to have it? It's Andromeda. Can Hive catch up? No! And Andromeda takes the victory in the parallel run, securing 2 gold medals in a row. Very nice performance there from Andromeda all throughout the event. Hive did pretty well as too, but unfortunately for them, Andromeda is the one who manages to beat them and take the gold medal. Hive will get a silver medal for their efforts, meanwhile Glacier does get the bronze medal. Quite an interesting new event we saw today, and as a result of it, Andromeda has taken the lead in the overall standings after getting 2 gold medals in a row. Black Rose stays in 2nd place, meanwhile Bolt has risen up to 4th, just behind Pixie. Next time we will see the B-League Margals taking on this same event we saw in the A Division, so I will see you then. Goodbye. Hello everybody and welcome back to Season 6 of the Kolskor Marble Championship. Today we have event 11, which is length rolling. 4 marbles at a time will roll down those 2 pieces of track there onto the rest of the track and try to make it down as far as possible. You can see each hole there in the track is worth 1 point, and the furthest the marbles make it down, the better they will do. And each heat will have 4 chances to do as much as they can to get the gold medal. All their points will be added up at the end to see how well they do. The first heat, Andromeda, Dynamite, Pixie, and Bolt. Off they go with the first one. Dynamite does very nicely. That's 61 for them. Pixie, they're doing well as well. Bolt and Andromeda, not so much. The next roll down, Andromeda does quite nicely this time. They get a 49. Not very good, though, for anyone else. Next time down, Bolt. That is a very nice score. They do reach the red, and that will be a score of 73, a good score for them. Another final time down. Looks like Pixie and Andromeda do the best. Will they get the same score? Yes, they will. 63 each. And so far, after the first heat, is Pixie in the lead with a grand total of 200. A very nice score to start with. This is by Bolt with 182, Dynamite with 164, and Andromeda with 151. In Heat 2, we see Lapis, Glacier, Wisp, and Lollipop. Down they come. Glacier, that's a very nice start. Going to be a good 73 there for them. No one else does well at all, though. Let's take a look at the second roll for them. Looks quite nice by Lapis. They do the best, but actually turns out to not be a very good score overall. 39. Next roll, Glacier again does the best. How far will they get? Do manage to get a bit further up to the 51. And now the final roll for these marbles. They all do very well, but Lollipop, that is a very nice shootout. That is going to be 81 for Lollipop, a very nice score to finish it off. Overall, though, Glacier does the best out of those four and does take the current top spot with a very nice 216, being quite consistent all throughout. Lapis and Wisp, meanwhile, do not do very well. Third heat, Blue Bottle, Mess, Ocean, and Mantis. Off they go. The first one, Mess will do the best out of them. Does manage to climb quite a bit to a 58. The rest of the marbles do not very well. Next up, second heat, Blue Bottle. Very nice job there. They fall back a bit to a 69, but overall pretty good and much better than the rest of the marbles. Third roll down, they have another nice job there by Mantis. They do very nicely. Get all the way to an 82. That's going to bump them up a lot of space. Here's their last run for all these marbles, and Mess will do the best again. That'll get them a 45 and an overall score of 194, which will put them in current third place, with Mantis right behind them. Ocean and Blue Bottle do not as well. But the final heat, Knight, Black Rose, Dragonfly, and Hive. If they go for their first roll, Dragonfly and Hive both do quite nicely there. They're going to get a 60 and a 63. Next roll down they come. Nice Knight. Quite nice there with a 71. None of the other marbles really do that well. Their next roll down. Off they go again. Hive does quite nicely. Dragonfly right there as well. Hive gets all the way to a 63. And now the final roll for these marbles. Off they go. Black Rose, it's very nice. They drop it back and manage to claw their way to a 71. Dragonfly does decently as well. And that's what's going to give them the best score out of that heat and the overall silver medal. However, it is just not enough to beat Glacier's 216, who will take the gold, with Pixie behind Dragonfly in third place. After this event, Pixie has taken the top spot with their bronze medal, with Glacier in 5th now, rising 4 spots with that gold. Next event, we will see the elimination race, so I will see you then. Goodbye. Hello everybody and welcome back to Season 6 of the Kolskor Marble Championship. Today we have Event 12, the elimination race. All marbles will start and they will go down this track all at once, and they have to attempt to not be last. If they are in last place, once all the marbles are finished, they will be eliminated and will not be able to go to the next round, while every other marble will go, and that will continue until there is only one marble left. Quite a treacherous course here today, so we have to see how the marbles can take it. The first round, all marbles are in. Off they go. So right now it's Black Rose in the back. The marbles see this course for the first time. It's really, you never know who's going to be out until we're right to the end, and some marbles can't even get stuck here as they work their way down. See who's going to be there in last. It is going to be Dragonfly getting stuck, and they will be in 16th place, unfortunately. The second round, off they go again. So right now it might be Pixie in the back. Those two ways can be difficult to tell who's in the back there. I think that's Knight now, who falls to last place. They make their way down. Try to catch up to Glacier. Might pass here in this last section. They do manage to do it. So it's going to be close, but it will be Glacier who does fall behind Knight and will be eliminated second. The third round. Down they come into the split pathways. More marbles opting for the right that time. The Wisp falls to last place now. Gonna overtake to get past Knight and Mess. Blue Bottle's there in the back as well. It's just a matter of making sure you're not in last. Blue Bottle has fallen behind. Can they make it up on Wisp? Just barely not. And that means Blue Bottle will be eliminated. Round 4. Down they come. So there's Lollipop in the back. They've been falling behind a bit lately. They make it past Ocean though. Andromeda's there as well. So Black Rose might have fallen behind too. See Knight, they've been in the back a lot quite recently. Down, it looks like Knight might be able to overtake Mess. That's going to be very close. Going to take another look at that. Knight made quite the comeback here at the end. Did they get it? Just barely over Mess. Knight will make it. Mess is eliminated in the 4th round. Round 5 now. 4 marbles have been eliminated. Who will be next? Down they come. Dynamite in the back there. Oh, I think Bolt might be stuck. There's a marble stuck up there. I think it might be Bolt. Rest of the marbles making their way down. Black Rose there in last. Let's take a look. It is going to be Bolt who gets stuck right at the top of the 2nd section and will be eliminated. Round 6. Off they go. Here's Hive in the back maybe. Make it past Knight. Knight has been in the back a lot but has just barely managed to survive every time. Hive falls back. They're very far behind now. Can they make it up? Does look like they've made it back to Knight. I think Wisp is stuck there. Knight is not going to be able to hit them free again. And so Wisp is going to be eliminated. Round 7 now. Almost half the field has been eliminated. Andromeda, they do not get a good start there. Let's see if they can make it up. They do get pretty close to Black Rose now. Pixie's there as well, but Andromeda falls even further behind. Rest of the marbles making their way down this course. Can Andromeda find a way to pass anyone? No, they will not. Andromeda will be eliminated. Final round before the halfway point. Down they go. So that is Dynamite in the back. Make it past Ocean with a nice move. Make it past Pixie as well. Those two are in the back now. Knight's fallen behind. Let's see who will be eliminated here. Lollipop has fallen behind there. And I don't think they're going to make it. I think they've got him stuck. Yes, they have. Lollipop's got him stuck there, and they will be eliminated at the end of the first half, meaning they will get 9th place. So best of the bottom half. Following them is Andromeda, Wisp, Bolt, Ness, Blue Bottle, Glacier, and finally Dragonfly in last place. Let's see. 8 marbles remain. Halfway to the end. Down they come. Hive in the back, maybe? Black Rose now in the back, actually. They come down. I think Pixie has fallen behind there. I don't see that. I think they might have gotten stuck. Let's see the rest of the marbles make their way down. I think Pixie's gotten stuck there right at the start. Come down, it's Dynamite, Black Rose. Game is panning up. And yes, there is Pixie. Unfortunately stuck at the start of the 2nd section. Very unfortunate. They will take 8th place. 10th round. There we go. They all take the right path. Not sure if that's faster, but that's what they've chosen. They're probably better than me. So them coming down here. Hive, Black Rose, Ocean in the back. Who will be eliminated here? It is going to be Ocean. Or no, they just managed to pass them, and they will be eliminated in 7th place. Round 11. Off they go. Now they all take the left path. Black Rose, the other one on the right. And that has put them in very much behind in last place. Can they overtake? They make a nice move there, passing both Lapis and Mantis. Who's going to be eliminated? Mantis makes the pass on Lapis. Can they hold? Yes, they will. Lapis falls quite behind in that last little bit, and that is what will eliminate them. Final 5. Down they come. Not many marbles remaining. There's a lot more space here. Well, there's a chance to get stuck. Black Rose, a nice move on Hive to pass. Hive makes it back, though. Very nicely done there. Black Rose trying to make it on Mantis. They do get past. Knight has fallen behind as well, though. Can Mantis pass them? Yes, they do. Can Knight maybe make it back? No, they will not. And Knight is eliminated in 5th place. The final 4. 3 of these marbles will podium, but 1 will not. Which marble will that be? 2 marbles on each side. Black Rose and Mantis. Seems like that right path is the slower one. Both trying to just make it up on Hive and Dynamite, who've both gotten away. They catch up, though, and Dynamite's gotten stuck there. They were doing very well, but unfortunately, Dynamite has gotten stuck and will not manage to land on the podium. Now, our podium finishes. Hive, Black Rose, and Mantis, but where will they finish? This is for the bronze medal. Mantis gets out to a quick lead. Hive and Black Rose in the back. Mantis takes a bit of a hit, though. They're falling behind. Hive passes all of them, but then they fall behind again. Black Rose passes. Mantis makes the move on Hive. Can Hive try to make it back? They do attempt, but they will not get there. They'll take the bronze medal. And so this is for the gold medal. Mantis and Black Rose, a newcomer and an old champion. Down we go. Mantis leads. With a split there, Mantis gets a very nice lead into this last section. They're slowed down a bit though. Here comes Black Rose, they're challenging. Can they pass? Just barely. Mantis has beaten Black Rose. They hold it to the end and will win the gold medal in the elimination race. Black Rose, a nice comeback there, just couldn't do it. Does take the silver medal, and Hive a well-fought battle for the bronze. A very intense event we just saw there. With their silver medal, Black Rose does rise into first place. You can obviously see Mantis there with their gold rising all the way up to 6th from 10th with that gold medal. In the next event, we will see the B Division Marbles taking on this same elimination race course. So I will see you then. Hello everybody and welcome back to Season 6 of the Kolskor Championship. Today we have Event 13, Marble Push. We saw this in the qualifiers a while back, and it's back here for the A Division. 4 marbles at a time will roll down and hit the respective marble in front of the ramp. Try to hit it to the end as quick as possible. The top 2 will move on to the finals, the semi-finals, and then the finals. So let's begin with the first heat. Mantis, Hive, Blue Bottle, and Andromeda. Down they come. Looks like it's Mantis and Hive out at the front. I believe Blue Bottle did get pretty close, but I don't think they got it. Mantis and Hive were both quite far ahead. And yes, Mantis and Hive will take it. They will be the ones moving on. Heat 2, Wisp, Pixie, Lollipop, and Lapis. Down they come. Lapis on the bottom, Wisp at the top as well. Those two do quite nicely, and they will be the ones moving on here. Nicely done there from Lapis. Did very dominant in this heat. Wisp there taking the second. Heat 3, Ocean, Bolt, Knight, and Mess. Down they come. Ocean with a massive lead, and Knight is going to take the second place. They did fall off the track, but that isn't going to matter. Ocean, though, is very dominant on the top lane. Knight in the lane 3 there also did nicely. Mess and Bolt are eliminated. And now the final heat, Black Rose, Dragonfly, Dynamite, and Glacier. They make the push, and it's close between Dynamite and Black Rose. Dragonfly is going to take it. Very close between Dynamite and Black Rose. Who's going to take it? It's going to be Dynamite, just barely takes it over Black Rose, and we'll move on. In the bottom half of the standings, we do see Blue Bottle taking the 9th place position, followed by Black Rose in 10th, and Glacier, Mess, Andromeda, Pixie, Lollipop, and Bolt in last place. But now the semi-finals. Knight, Lapis, Dynamite, and Hive are up first. Knight, that's a massive push, and Lapis, it seems, is going to take an easy second place. Those two are very dominant over Dynamite and Hive. The other two just did not have a chance. Knight, very powerful push with Lapis taking a good second place finish. But now the second semi-final. Wisp, Mantis, Dragonfly, and Ocean. Down they come. Mantis in the lead, and I think that's Ocean. They're on the bottom lane who took second place. Taking a look at it, Mantis did very well here. And yes, it is going to be Ocean who takes second. They will move on to the final as well as Mantis. 5th to 8th place standings. Dragonfly does take the 5th place finish, followed by Hive, Wisp, and Dynamite there in 8th place. But now we will move to the final. Lapis, Ocean, Mantis, and Knight. Down they come. Look, that's close, but Knight is going to get ahead. I believe Lapis had the early lead, but they fell behind. Here comes Knight with the overtake, and the Mantis is going to get the silver over Lapis just barely. Very well fought there from Knight. That is their second gold in a row in Marble Push. They took this gold medal in Season 5, and now they take it once again in Season 6. Mantis will get the silver medal, and Lapis the bronze. Quite an intense quick-fire event we saw today. Looking at the standings, Mantis, Knight, and Dragonfly have all risen 2, 3, and 3 spots respectively, but Black Rose still leads the pack. Lollipop and Bolt have both fallen massive spots. Lollipop all the way down to 7th, while Bolt is now in 9th. Next event will be Bathtub Endurance. And with only 3 events to go, things are getting very intense up at the top. So I'll see you then. Hello everybody and welcome back to Season 6 of the Kolskor Marble Championship. Today we're on Event 14, the third last event, which is Bathtub Endurance. 4 marbles at a time will roll down into the bathtub and have to try and stay rolling for as long as possible, doing their best not to fall into the drain. Once they do fall into the drain, that will eliminate them. The last 2 marbles to fall in the heats will move on to the semi-finals and in the final to see who will win this event. In the first heat, we see Pixie, Mess, Blue Bottle, and Hive. Down they come into the bathtub, rolling around. Who will last the longest? Pixie dodges the hole there, then Mess falls in. That is unfortunate. Hive comes in, they have contact with Pixie, and do fall in there, meaning Pixie and Blue Bottle will be the ones moving on. Very nicely done there by Pixie. Look at this move here. Manages to block Hive, knocks them into the drain, and they will move on with Blue Bottle. Second heat now. Ocean, Black Rose, Andromeda, and Wisp. Down they come. Rolling around the bathtub there. A bit of contact here. Black Rose takes close hit with the hole there. Andromeda falls in. Can Black Rose hold? No, they will not. Seems like Ocean and Wisp will cruise to a nice, easy victory. Black Rose's tactic there seemed to be to just try and hit maybe Ocean or Wisp in while rolling around the hole. Did not work. Ocean and Wisp, they both managed to dodge. And Black Rose was eliminated with Andromeda. And Ocean and Wisp do manage to move on to the semi-finals. Heat 3, Lollipop, Dynamite, Dragonfly, and Bolt. Off they go. Going around Lollipop, they go straight down, and that's not going to work at all. They fall in there. Bolt, a nice hit there on Dragonfly. Will eliminate Dragonfly, meaning they and Dynamite are going to be the ones moving on. Unfortunately for Lollipop, they just went straight in. Then Bolt, a very nice performance there on Dragonfly. Smacks them into the hole very nicely. And they are the ones moving on with Dynamite. Fourth and final heat. Knight, Mantis, Lapis, and Glacier. Down they come. Quite close together between Knight, Lapis, and Mantis. They all bunch up, and Knight is the only one who survives there. Lapis and Mantis, unfortunately, will fall into the drain, eliminating both of them in quick succession. Knight, very nicely done to get out of the way, meaning they and Glacier will be the ones moving on to the semi-finals. As for the bottom half, Black Rose will take 9th place, followed by Hive, Dragonfly, Mess, Lapis, Mantis, Andromeda, and Lollipop down in last place. That marble has not been doing very well recently. First semi-final, Blue Bottle, Ocean, Glacier, and Dynamite. Down these 4 come. Quite close together, bit of contact there between Ocean and Dynamite. However, this time they all dodge the hole first. Dynamite, however, they fall in, they are eliminated. Who else will be safe? Blue Bottle manages to knock Ocean in, and they will move on with Glacier. Very nice performance here from Blue Bottle. See Ocean coming around the hole, get there first, manage to stop them in their tracks, knock them into the drain. We'll move on to the final with Glacier. Second semi-final, Wisp, Knight, Pixie, and Bolt. Down they come. Rolling around. Wisp seems to be ahead. Will they work out for them? Not at all, and Knight drops in as well. Bolt and Pixie will comfortably move on to the semi-final. Not good performances there by either Knight or Wisp. Knight seemed to be going for a hit on Pixie, but just Pixie managed to dodge it at the last minute. Meaning Knight fell into the drain and was eliminated. Ocean will take the 5th place finish, followed by Dynamite, Knight, and then Wisp in 8th place. Moving on to the final now. Pixie, Glacier, Bolt, and Blue Bottle. Down they come for the gold medal in Bathtub Endurance, rolling around. All of them seem to be doing quite nicely here, moving around the hole. Glacier and Blue Bottle are slowing it down. Blue Bottle won't survive, neither will Glacier. Glacier takes the bronze. Who's going to win gold? It's going to be Bolt, who manages to win gold in Bathtub Endurance. Not a very climactic final. Bolt just had the endurance left over Pixie and did manage to take the win. Very nice performance there. And that's not all. Bolt has won the record in this event. 15.125 beats out Black Rose's record, meaning Bolt now holds the record for Bathtub Endurance. Very strong performance there. Well-deserved gold medal. Pixie with the silver and Glacier with the bronze. With that amazing performance in this event, Bolt has moved up into 4th place Meanwhile, Pixie has now overtaken Black Rose for the top spot with that silver. Knight has also moved up into 3rd place. Meanwhile, Lollipop has fallen all the way down to 11th. You can also see right at the bottom of the standings, Wisp and Mess now can both neither win nor podium overall in Season 6 of the Kolskor Marble Championship. Next event will be Bathtub Endurance in the B division, so I will see you then. Hello everybody and welcome back to Season 6 of the Kolskor Marble Championship. Today we are here at the penultimate event of the A division. It is Collision Curling. We've seen this event a lot in the KMC, so it's one that these athletes have definitely seen before. 4 at a time will roll down into this little target area here and will collide in the center. They have to try and stay as close to the middle as possible with 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 80, and then 100 if they land up in the middle. Marble with the most points will take the win. First heat, Knight, Andromeda, Dynamite, and Mess down. They come, and it's very nice by both Knight and Andromeda. They will both take 80s to start. Here's their second roll. Not as good there. Dynamite does get a nice 60. Mess takes a 50 as well. Andromeda doing well as well. Then they come once more. Knight, that's very nice. A 40. Andromeda does bring them back to a 50. Very nicely done by them. The final run. It's alrightly done there by both Knight and Andromeda. And Andromeda will do the best of them, taking the early lead with a nice 200 overall. Knight with a 180. Mess and Dynamite much further down. In Heat 2, it's Pixie, Glacier, Lollipop, and Lapis. Down they come for their first roll. Lollipop, Lapis, and Pixie all do very nicely. Glacier, however, will get 0. Second roll, knock back quite far. Only Lollipop and Glacier will get small amounts of points there. Now, for their third roll, what can these marbles do? Spread out quite a bit. All managed to converge back in the middle. Glacier does the best in that one. Now their final roll down. Pixie, that's amazing. They land up in the middle. That's going to bump them all the way to 190. Very nice performance there by Pixie. They are now up into 2nd place, sandwiched between Andromeda and Knight. Lollipop right now is in 4th. In Heat 3, Wisp, Dragonfly, Black Rose, and Blue Bottle. Down they come. Very nice start there by both Dragonfly and Blue Bottle. Both of them take 50s to start. Down they come again. Most finish with 0. Blue Ball is going to be the only one. They will get a 60 there to get points. Then they come again. Black Rose lands on the 100. That's amazing there from them. Blue Ball also does quite well for another 60. And their final time down. Blue Ball is going to do the best. No, Dragonfly managed to wrap around and take a 50. With a Blue Bottle does do the best out of them with a total of 210, taking the lead. You can see Black Rose there. They have taken the 5th place spot with 150. In the final heat, we have Bolt, Ocean, Mantis, and Hive. Can any of them beat Blue Bottle? Down they come for the first roll here. Bolt brings it nicely back to a 50 to match Mantis' score there. Both of those do quite nicely. Down they come again. Not very good by anyone. Mantis does manage to bring it back to a 40. They take the lead here. Then they come again. Mantis seems to miss there. They manage to bring it back again to a 40, though. And Ocean does the best with a 50. And the final roll, Bolt. That's a very nice 60. Hive does get a 60 as well. However, Bolt will do the best there, but it is not enough. And Blue Bottle will win the gold in collision curling, with Andromeda taking the silver and Pixie taking the bronze medal. With the 15th event completed, Pixie is still in the lead with 5 points over Black Rose. However, with just 1 event to go, only 6 marbles, Pixie, Black Rose, Knight, Andromeda, Blue Bottle, and Bolt still have a chance to win Season 6 of the Kolskor Marble Championship. Meanwhile, in 7th and 8th, we see Mantis and Glacier, who do have a small chance of landing up on the podium. No other marble can win or podium in this season. Next time I see you will be for the finale of the B League in lap racing, followed by the Season 6 finale. See you then. Hello everybody, and welcome to the finale of Season 6 of the Kolskor Marble Championship. We are at the 16th event, the final lap racing all the marbles will go down this track and race to the bottom over 15 laps. The one that wins will, of course, have the gold medal. As this is the final event, there are only a few marbles that can still win. Looking at the current standings here, it is Pixie on the top, but only 5 points ahead of Black Rose, with Knight, Andromeda, Blue Bottle, and Bolt all also having a small chance at an overall victory here. Everything will be decided by this event. There is your starting order. Knight is leading, followed by Pixie, Hive, Dragonfly, and Mess. And down they come for the first lap. Pixie, they immediately take the lead, but it is taken them by Mess, and then Pixie passes them back. Mess trying to get that lead back, and they do it, passing Pixie as Knight also does so. But Mess will be leading after the first lap. Pixie is, of course, the main marble to look out for here. They're in third right now. Let's see how they come. Andromeda, they shoot around everyone and they take the lead. They also do have a good chance at a podium and then a slim chance at a victory. So they want to do well here. Pixie was trying to challenge there, but Dragonfly did overtake, with Knight still holding a nice position there in third, though it is Andromeda leading coming into lap 3. They've made a nice jump up there from 10th place. They hold their lead into the next lap. Knight and Blue Bottle are also challenging. Lollipop's there as well. They've now moved into second place unless Knight can overtake. No, they do not. Andromeda is holding the lead quite nicely. Blue Bottle, they make a nice move into second place, passing both Lollipop and Knight in one. Very nice move there. But there's only 15 marbles there. Bolt has gotten stuck. That is unfortunate. They're going to be put back in 16th place. Going into lap 4 here. Andromeda leads. Lollipop and Blue Bottle and Dragonfly all get the pass. Blue Bottle then passes Lollipop for first place as Dragonfly moves past Lollipop for second. They were trying to make a move on Blue Bottle, but were blocked. A nice move there by the Blue Marble. It's like Knight and Pixie, they've both fallen quite far back. Black Rose, however, they aren't doing very well. That marble is the main challenger to Pixie here. Down they come again. Blue Bottle was challenged there by Pixie, did manage to block them. Dragonfly is now in second place as well. Bolt, they've moved all the way up to 5th, despite being set back to last there. Pixie makes the pass on Dragonfly, but they still can't pass Blue Bottle. That marble is holding their lead very nicely. Coming into the next lap, down they come. Blue Bottle, their lead, hold Andromeda. They move back into third place. The fight with Lollipop, they lose out. Lollipop takes the third place position. Still holding that fourth place, though, is Andromeda. Pixie, they try to make the move around Blue Bottle. Can't do it. And Marble is doing a very good job of holding that first place position. Here we are coming into lap 7. Down they come. Blue Bottle, they lose their lead to Pixie. A very nice move there around the side by that marble. Dragonfly, they also pass Blue Bottle. They've been doing very consistently this race. Can they maybe find a way past Pixie here? No, they cannot. And Pixie will hold their lead here after 7 laps. Black Rose, they've fallen very far back. They are now in last place. That is not good for them. Coming into lap 8 here. Can Pixie's lead hold? Yes, it does. See Mantis there. Although Ocean passes all of them. Very nice move there from that marble. They did get the gold medal for this event in Season 5, although they get passed by Pixie and then Knight, who moves into second place. But Pixie is once again in the lead. They've been doing very well this race from their P2 start. Ocean, they immediately make the move back with Mantis as well doing that. Mantis falls back though as Andromeda takes over. Knight, they're trying to find a way past Ocean here, though they get passed up by Andromeda, who then passes Ocean. A very nice run there by the orange marble. Coming into the 10th lap here, Andromeda is leading there, followed by Ocean with Pixie there. The Mantis, they move past a lot of marbles in once, do very nicely. We see Glacier, they've also moved up to about a 5th place spot. Mantis is doing the leading now. Ocean, they pass both Knight and Pixie into second place. Pixie holding a nice 3rd place position. They have been in the lead for this championship for maybe the entire race, doing very well, though there are only 5 laps left to go. Knight, Black Rose, they need to be doing something now to try and get this win off Pixie. Although Glacier has now taken the lead with Ocean in second place. Bolt is there as well with Mantis. Mantis does have a chance at a podium position. So does Glacier, but they get passed up by Ocean coming into the last turn. Black Rose, still the main challenger. Pixie has not been doing well in this race, although Pixie has been falling back for some position. Dragonfly, they make the pass around Ocean at the start of the 12th lap. Ocean, however, gets the lead back, and Dragonfly gets past them on the straightaway, and this time they seem to get a much better hold on the lead, taking it all the way into lap 13. Only 3 laps remain. Dragonfly is leading, followed by Ocean, Mantis, Glacier, and Bolt. Dragonfly's lead holds as Bolt moves into second place. Pixie Up's up there into third. Dragonfly, they get away from the pack, trying to hold this lead coming into the next lap. Pixie, they're trying to challenge Bolt, do get past, and they are in the silver medal position with just 2 laps to go. This marble, they have been doing this very well. They have never taken their eyes off this podium spot, although they now fall back quite far, almost in the clutches of Black Rose. Dragonfly, they're leading. Knight also up there. Mantis too, and Lollipop. Mez has made quite the comeback, although Dragonfly will be leading coming into the final lap. Dragonfly is leading. Pixie is about in the mid-pack. Can anyone overtake them? Down they come for the final lap of the Kolskor Marble Championship. Mantis overtakes Dragonfly for the lead. Black Rose, they managed to pass Pixie there in the mid-pack, although they can't hold it. Mantis is going to lead. They're passed by Dragonfly. Dragonfly's going to take the gold, and Pixie will win Season 6 of the Kolskor Marble Championship. Despite only managing to finish in 6th, Pixie wins Season 6 of the Kolskor Marble Championship, doing enough to beat the rest of the marbles. In this event, it is Dragonfly who takes the gold medal, Mantis with the silver, and Lollipop with the bronze. And there you have it, the final standings for Season 6 of the Kolskor Marble Championship. Pixie, in Season 5, their debut season, they got the overall bronze, and this time they take it all, landing on the top step of the podium with 6 medals and 165 total points. Very strong effort there from that marble, and a very deserved victory. Black Rose, they will take the overall silver with 159 points. Meanwhile, Knight manages to take the overall bronze with 153 points. That is it from me for this season. Thank you for watching, and please enjoy the final thing I have for you, which is, of course, the Season 6 closing ceremony.